Would I ever start an OnlyFans? Not gonna lie, I have considered it. Will we ever get to meet your boyfriend? Maybe don't get your nipples out on YouTube, wouldn't recommend. That's just life, it is what it is. I can't decide if this colour jumper suits me or makes me look paler than ever. But either way, hello. Welcome to a cosy chatty video. If you aren't already, get comfy, get your blanket, get your favourite beverage of choice, and maybe a snack, because I'm gonna just talk your ear off for the next potentially half an hour. I actually asked for these questions over on my Instagram story, so if you aren't already following me over there, make sure you do, but I'm just gonna get straight into it because I'm gonna be a yapper. This first one really made me think. It says, do you think you deserve to be an influencer? I can't really decide how to take this because I feel like you deserve anything that you work hard for. So in that sense, yes. However, there are some influencers that do the very bare minimum and get paid insane amounts. Like some brands just throw budgets at influencers without any real knowledge of the industry. And in that sense, that seems quite silly because I see people on TikTok who are like influencer managers and they'll post a TikTok like signing off a job that's my entire year's wage for a 15-second post. Like that's insane. So in that sense, we're not doing like charity work. We're not saving lives. Like in that sense, maybe not. But I don't know. I feel like you deserve anything you work hard for. It's a very big question. I'm interested to know other people's opinions on that too. I did actually get a few questions around like my job and self-employment versus part-time. So we'll answer them kind of together. Someone's asked, would you ever go back to full-time self-employment? I'm not sure. My initial thought was maybe when I have a baby and then I'd go full-time self-employed. I like the freedom of it. I like that I get to schedule my weeks and do whatever I want, obviously making sure I'm actually doing the work. However, I think having found this part-time job, so if you didn't know, I do a part-time job where I work 2 days a week for a business. I'm their content creator / like social media. I need a new job title. I've been told to find a new job title for myself and I can't figure it out, so because I do internal content and external, and I do a lot of other things alongside content creation, so it's a busy role, but I really love it. And honestly, that job is the perfect job that I could have asked for. I wanted something 2 days a week, still creative, wouldn't suck the life out of me, and that's that. So I think in that sense, I don't know if I'd ever fully go back to self-employment because it was so lonely and like having to structure my own weeks. I was very isolated and I stayed in the house all the time, obviously working, but that's not good for you. And I enjoy having the stability of a monthly income now that is a set amount, because with this job, it goes up and down like drastically. So I could never really budget. I didn't know what I was going to get each month. So having this set wage every month has really made things easier, like mentally, socially, that kind of thing. So probably not. I don't think I would ever go full-time self-employed again, which I never thought I'd say that. I really didn't. Someone's asked, do the people at your part-time job know you make YouTube videos? Yes, it was on my CV, so it was like one of the first things they saw. Because of the nature of my job, they want me to be able to create content for social media. That was obviously a big seller. I think the director had watched my YouTube channel a little bit before I'd even started. So yeah, they all know what I do. I don't think some of them fully understand it, and not in like an ignorant kind of way. Like some people just aren't in the YouTube social media space, so they just know I make videos and that's kind of it. I don't know if anyone watches, not sure. I know definitely at my old job people used to watch my videos and like comment on it or like say, oh, I saw that you did this. It obviously doesn't bother me. I put them in the public sphere for them to be watched, but I've not had anyone at work say, oh yeah, I watched this, other than like my boss who was doing his research, I guess. Although he did say, I think maybe his mother-in-law or his mum was babysitting the kids and put YouTube on the TV, and there I was in suggestions. So he walked into his living room and she was watching one of my sewing videos. And he was like, oh, that's Alice. I hire her. She's my employee. Is it challenging balancing the part-time job, your own content creative job, and just life? Yes. And I'll be honest, this week has been one of those weeks. I've had a very busy schedule at the part-time job, which has meant that like my personal social media has kind of taken a little bit of a backseat. There's been really exciting things happening at work and I needed to make sure I was paying full attention to those. But I think that's just the nature of life. I think it'll be like waves of different levels of busy. Like a few months ago, just before Christmas, I was so busy in my personal work and my work for the part-time job job slowed down a little bit in the lead up to Christmas, so it kind of balanced out. Not sure I'm prepared for the moment when both jobs are busy at the same time, but I'm sure I can do it. I'm pretty good at like pre-planning everything and making sure I'm putting in the time when it's needed. So yeah, it's definitely a juggle, especially alongside life. I've for sure noticed that the house is a little bit more chaotic in terms of like cleaning and like keeping on top of the washing, because I'm literally out of the house 2 days a week. But I think I'll get into a bit of a routine. I've only worked there for like 8 months so far, which is quite a long time, but doesn't feel that long because I'm only in 2 days a week. So hopefully I'll get in a bit of a groove. But yeah, it's definitely difficult, and I think it's always going to be a work in progress. Okay, last one about my part-time job. Would you ever go full-time at your part-time job? No. And that's quite scary. I've been offered more hours and I'm open to that, but not on like a regular basis. I don't think I could commit at the minute to 3 days a week every week, because my personal stuff is still happening and still busy, and I need those 3 days for my own things. But if I needed to, obviously I'd switch the balance up a little bit. I'll be honest, I don't think I'll ever have a full-time job in the nature of like Monday, Friday, 9-5, because I'm just so used to and very lucky to have been able to be self-employed. So obviously I tried it out a couple of years ago being full-time, and it just destroyed my soul. Don't know if it was the job, don't know if it was the structure of working that kind of time frame, but my creative brain doesn't work like that, and I feel like the industry I'm in, it'll always be a job that's not like set hours. So hopefully that's just how it's gonna go. But I mean, never say never. I might get to a point where some point I need to do full-time, but if everything stays as it is and if I stay as lucky as I am, then no. Not for me. No thank you. Oh, we've got a few life questions. So, hot topic, I feel like, in my life at the moment. I'm reaching 30, and in the media there's definitely this whole thing about women being old in their 30s. How do you deal with all of the messaging from media or adverts telling us to try out this new anti-aging product, or just generally making us feel like we're not allowed to age? I hate it. I think it's kind of like your mentality around it. So personally, I still feel like I'm probably like 22. I don't feel old enough to be making these adult decisions. I don't feel old enough to be having a mortgage and a car and a cat. Sometimes I'm driving around and I'm like, who let me drive this huge machinery? Like, I just kind of float along in my own little bubble, which I mean could be good or bad. I think if you're getting those kind of adverts, maybe you need to do a bit of a purge of your social media. So if you get an advert on Facebook or whatever, you can click the little like 3 dots at the top and tell the algorithm that you don't want to see that. I do that quite a lot. I keep getting like weight loss medicine, so I'll mute them instantly. So in that sense, that's quite a practical way of dealing with it. Otherwise, I think it's kind of internally like surrounding yourself with people of a similar age, maybe like following people with a similar mindset, that age is just like a construct, like it's how you feel that matters. It's definitely a difficult one. I'm sure I'll be revisiting this question in like 4 years time, when maybe I do feel a bit older and I'm getting more of these adverts and I feel the pressure. I'm not sure. Speaking of in a few years time, where do you see yourself in 5 years time? So I think I've said this for a long time, but I've always said in 5 years time I'll have children. Obviously as I've got older, that means it's getting further away. But I really think I can picture in my head being ready for like the family era of my life. My best friend from school recently has had a baby. You might have seen it in the recent vlog, and I love it, and I love being an auntie to like my friends' babies, and it's very wholesome, and I am no longer scared to hold a newborn. The idea doesn't completely repulse me, but I am not ready to have children, not yet. And again, that kind of goes back to the pressure of being in your 30s and feeling like it's too late. I definitely still have that thought of like, what if I leave it too late and I can't? But I can't think like that. I literally cannot control that right now. So I'm not ready to not be selfish for a few more years. I don't want to be ploughing all my time into this small human when I feel like I need to grow and become my full potential myself. Wow, that got deep really fast. The question was, where do you see yourself in 5 years time? Maybe children. I'd love to have children, or to start in thinking about it. I'll be like 34 at that point, and I feel like that's a good age, but maybe I'll get to that point and I'll still not know. Who knows? In terms of career, I'd love to still be working where I am, maybe more of a senior role, maybe have people working underneath me. Not sure, that sounds quite scary. I don't really plan too far ahead, because I'm very aware that a lot of these plans don't happen and things change. Usually I'll only do like a year ahead, but yeah, that'd be fun. Maybe do a little extension on the house. That could be fun. We'll have lived here 10 years in 5 years time. That's crazy. So yeah, just vibing, living life, earning enough money to go on holiday a couple of times a year, to go out and have dinners and treat my family. Like, that's just the life I want to lead. Just the simple life, you know? Someone's asked, how many kids do you want? Kind of linked in with that question. I've always said 2 or 3. I'm a sibling of 2, so it has always been nice to have like that other sibling around. But I always wanted a younger sister, so then that would have made us a 3. So we'll see. We'll see how I take to motherhood. I feel like I'll probably get to 2 and be like, no, thank you. I'm very overstimulated. But you never know. I might take to it. So we'll see. And I think someone else also asked, when you have a baby, do you want it to be a girl or a boy, or do you not mind? Obviously, overall, I don't mind. I can only at the minute picture myself as a girl mum, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because both of my friends have had baby girls. I can only really picture that. But I'm not sure. I just picture myself as a girl mum. So either way, it's going to be adorable and very cute and wholesome and very stressful. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a girl mum. Not sure. We've got some like family related questions as well. How are you? How is your family? I feel like it's been ages since they were in a video. I'm really well, thank you. And actually someone messaged me and said I look really happy, and I actually do feel a lot more fulfilled. It's the job, it's the weather, it's the balance of life. I definitely feel a lot more myself now, which is so nice to be able to say. Although it does make me think, oh, something's going to go wrong. So I don't know what kind of attitude that is. I need to figure that out. But I'm really well. My family are also really well. I see them a lot. I don't really film when I'm with them, because when I'm with them, I'm trying to like wind down and like relax. However, me and my dad are going to be doing a bit of a garden project soon, so maybe I'll film that. But yeah, everyone's fine. I see them all the time, and it's just a nice vibes all around, you know? Will we ever get to meet your boyfriend? I don't think I will ever do that, because the nature of his job, he is training to be a therapist, so obviously there's a lot of like client confidentiality kind of stuff. Previously he was a mental health nurse, so like he's always been and probably always will be in a career where his patients probably shouldn't know who I am and where he lives and all that kind of thing. So in that sense, no. However, if he didn't have that job, I still don't think I'd share him, and that's because in the past I've shared partners and relationships, and there's just something a bit cringe about it. Like, I'm always scared of it going a little bit wrong. Like, I don't think it will, and I hope it won't, but I don't know, it's a weird situation. And like, I like to keep my personal life personal now. I share a lot with you guys, so to be able to have like my boyfriend just to me and our life together just for us, I really value and enjoy, and I'll probably continue doing that for the foreseeable. Someone said, do I ever wish I could show him on camera? Yes, because there's some really funny moments that happen and like cute coupley vibes, like when we go camping. I wish I could show him on camera, and I do film it, and I'll just edit a version when he's in it, so we can have it as like a home video kind of vibe. But I mean, I've explained why I don't show him. So going back to the kids thing, someone said, do your parents ever push you to have kids or talk about it? No, not at all. They're not pushy parents. They support whatever decision I want, and I've pretty much grown up and always said I don't want children yet. So I think when I'm ready, they will be absolutely thrilled. They will be the best grandparents ever, and it's going to be so good and lovely. But no, I don't feel the pressure from my parents at all. They know I want to live my life a little bit first. We've got some YouTube related questions. How did you get into YouTube? So and I'm sure if you've been here for a while, you've heard this story a lot, so I will try and keep it short and sweet. I watched YouTube pretty much from being 13 until now, so like a long time, and I hated school. It was just not fun, lots of dynamics. So my motivation to get up and get ready and have a good day, or try and have a good day at school, was to watch a YouTube video as I got ready in the morning. And I still do that to this day. Every single morning when I get ready and put my makeup on, I'm watching a YouTube video. And I watch the Shaytards. You might know them, American vlogging family. They vlogged every single day back in the day, and I was obsessed, and they brought me so much happiness. So I always wanted to bring that kind of happiness and a bit of a retreat to other people. I've always been creative. At that point, I did dabble in like a music video channel. I feel like everyone in my age bracket had that era. I'd lip sync to videos and make my own music video. Very cringe, but I enjoyed it. So I guess it was a bit of like an evolution of that. And as soon as I left sixth form, pretty much, I created my channel. I think I felt safer to do it when I wasn't going to see all these people ever again, pretty much. So created my YouTube channel then was 2013. It's now 12 years later and I'm still doing it, and it just kind of evolved from that. I was finding my feet. I mean, you can go back on my channel, please don't, but if you want to, you can see the change in me and how much I've grown, and it's just been a great journey. So do you have any YouTube regrets? Other than, okay, maybe two actually. The first instinct is always this answer, and it's when I accidentally did a nip slip on YouTube, and I got so many messages like, Alice, you need to take that video down, we can see your boobs. So that's the main one. That's quite funny now. It wasn't, but it's funny now. Maybe don't get your nipples out on YouTube, wouldn't recommend. Other regrets, probably sharing so much of my personal life in the past. As I mentioned, the boyfriend thing, it's just a bit awkward, isn't it? Bit cringe. That kind of leads on as well. Someone's actually asked, and this means you're a proper OG viewer, which I love, how come you deleted your old uni vlogs? I used to love watching them. Thank you so much. I did it because I just felt like I was out of that era of my life. I can't really remember the thought process when I actually did it, but like I had a boyfriend at uni and we weren't together, and that was just a bit cringe, and it all just felt a little bit out of date. Do you know when you like go through your Facebook and purge some of the old photos because you find things that you posted in year 9 that are a bit cringe? It felt a little bit like that. So that's why I deleted them. I do have them still. They're all on a hard drive, I hope. I've not seen them in a while, but I saved copies of every single video, and I still do, that I make. So they should still exist somewhere. So maybe one day I could do like a throwback vlog, especially with Jade. If you used to watch my videos, my best friend Jade was in loads of the vlogs. I daily vlogged at uni for a while. So there's a lot of memories there, and it's very cute and wholesome. I think at the time when I deleted it, I just wanted to like purge, get rid of all those memories and start afresh. Would you ever start another small business selling products? I don't think so, but never say never. I really enjoyed having my little stationery shop, Soul and Fire. I definitely feel like it was in that era of people making a small business during lockdown and then like rolling with it. I still love stationery and all the things to do with it, but the whole process, I think I definitely underestimated how much it takes to run a small business. Right now, I'm not really in the headspace or have the desire to do anything like that. Maybe I'd do like one-off products, like a journal or something, like something really relevant to me, but I'd probably just put it under my name as opposed to running a separate business. But like I say never. You don't know. I'm really enjoying selling digital products and like helping people that way. So watch this space. Hopefully I'll have more digital products. In fact, whilst I'm here, I have a discount for my content creator masterclass and the pattern workbook for 10% off. If you use my discount code YouTube10, you'll get 10% off. I'll leave them linked on screen and in the description so you can go check them out. Shameless little plug. Do you think you'll always live in Donny? I'm not sure, and I didn't think I'd ever say that, but I think because I now work in Sheffield a lot, like my boyfriend's family lives in Sheffield, I wouldn't be opposed to living there, but I want to always make sure I'm a pretty quick drive back to my parents because we are so close, very much a home bird. I'd have to be in the right house, the right area. I'd have to really feel the vibes. It would take a lot for sure to move out of my hometown. But I'm not opposed to it. Maybe in the future that's where we'll end up, but I definitely don't want to be any more than like 25 minutes away from my family. Which is not very far, doesn't give me much leeway, but it's important to me. And especially as we have kids and grow up, I want them to be able to like connect with their grandparents and things. So like somewhere in the middle between both families would be ideal. But yeah, it's quite funny actually. I definitely had an era when I was younger of I'm gonna live in London one day. I was gonna go and live in Stratford like all the influencers did. I'd look at flats and be like, this is the life I'm gonna lead. I could not think of anything worse right now. So I feel like that just shows how much you change as you grow up and realise what you actually want. Where's your favourite place to shop for homeware? When we were buying stuff for this house, TK Maxx for sure. That was a fave. Dunelm, love. The vibes at the minute are very cutesy, girly, like scallops, like colourful. Not really the vibe of this house, but if I was decorating a house from scratch again, probably would lean into that for sure. I also like looking on places like Oliver Bonus. Can't say I've ever bought anything from there, but they give good inspo. Matalan, a bit of an underdog, but always love Matalan. Where else? Dunelm, TK Maxx, H&M. I've got a lot of like cushion covers and really cute little like candles and stuff from H&M. Always a solid shout. If you find a H&M home shop that's in person, go to one. So good. I guess that's it. They're the main ones. Would you ever get Gus a friend, cat or dog? Now, we debated getting Gus a cat friend. Not like seriously, but you know when you look on the rescue centre website and you're like, oh, that cat's so cute, maybe we should get Gus a friend. But then we've since realised that's double the food, that's double the vet bills, that's double the insurance, double the litter tray. Like, no. And I actually think on reflection, Gus loves being an only child. He is living his best life. And it was kind of shown, we took him on a walk yesterday and a cat that he sees through the patio doors a lot came up to him and he hissed and he was not happy about it. Obviously it took him by surprise, and with like proper introductions, you'd never know. But he's happy being a little only child, and I'm happy with that. And I don't want my house to be covered in cat hair all the time. That'd be too much. Fun fact, I'm actually allergic to cats, but the crazy cat lady in me couldn't resist, so I had to take allergy medicine every day anyway, so why not just continue and get a cat that I can love? And he brings me so much joy and happiness. He is 100% worth it. What are 3 places on your bucket list? Ooh, great question. I've always said New York for sure. I always wanted to go to California, and I very luckily went last year, and that was the most amazing trip. And that's because like the Shaytards lived in California at one point, so I grew up watching that. So that was insane seeing that. I don't know if I've replaced that on my bucket list with anything. Like I said, I'm pretty much a home bird, so I don't really aspire to travel in that sense. Maybe like Santorini or the Maldives, like when there's the beach huts and it's just like idyllic and you sit and do nothing for weeks. That'd be great. Honeymoon vibes. Then it's not really a place, but like going traveling, camping, like driving, like a European road trip kind of vibe. That'd be really fun. I don't have any specific places in mind, but just the idea of traveling and doing that and just like living the free life for a little bit, I think that'd be really fun. Do you ever wish you lived closer to Han? Yes, literally every week. We are regularly saying, I wish we could just like pop round for a chat and a chinwag. We speak pretty much every day and we just get each other, and it's always so nice when we see each other. And the other day, like neither of us are close to having kids, but we were planning like, oh, what would we do when one of us had a newborn? And I was like, you have to book a hotel, and we like had this whole scenario, and I said we are both insane, but that's why we're best friends. We're very similar in that sense. So yes, I 100% wish I lived closer to Hannah. Won't ever happen because we're both home birds. She lives in Essex and I live in Doncaster, but we make it work, and I think that's a testament to how solid we are as friends, because long distance friendships are hard, and we've actually never been like close in location wise as a friendship. So having such a solid relationship with someone who lives 4 hours away and always has done, well done us. Pat on the back. Oh, juicy one. Have you ever considered starting an OnlyFans? Now, would I ever start an OnlyFans? Not gonna lie, I have considered it, but I don't think I've considered it anything more than they make a lot of money and I just want to post like feet pictures or something. Don't think I'd want to get the full deal out. Not sure I feel about strangers on the internet looking at that. But yeah, I've definitely considered it. They make a lot of money, but I don't think I'd be very good at it. I'm not very good at acting sexy. I don't think I am. I think I wouldn't be able to take it seriously. Maybe there's a niche in that, I'm not sure, but power to you if you want an OnlyFans. Can we be crafting besties? Of course we can. That's the vibes that I want from my channel. Any crafting girlies or guys, just sit and watch my videos, put them in the background while you're making a craft. That's the vibe I want this channel to be. So yes, let's be best friends. Do you still talk to all the YouTubers you used to? I have never really spoken to loads of people. I'm not very good at keeping in touch with people via text, other than Hannah, clearly. But yeah, we've never fell out. Like if there was an opportunity for me to meet up with Molly or maybe Eve Bennett, like that whole little group, absolutely would love to. Never fell out. We've just all lived different lives. But if we were all to see each other at an event, I feel like that'd be so fun. And also bear in mind, I am literally like 5 years older than a lot of those girls. So there was always going to be a time where we kind of parted ways and just went and lived our separate lives. But like no animosity at all. Are there any influencers you don't like? Of course. Like, yes. And I feel like in any industry, even if you work in an office, there's going to be someone in the office that you really don't like. Yes, there are influencers I have met and haven't liked, but that's just life. It is what it is. Can you talk more about your autism diagnosis? I'm always curious about how my own brain works, as I feel so different to everyone else. Thanks for sending this in. That's quite a vulnerable thing to say, and I'm still quite closed with what I say about that. I've not really shared much about it, and I don't really have much more information to share. So I'm not officially diagnosed with autism, and I So basically it came about because I watched the programme, was it Paddy McGuinness or someone, and his wife got his kids diagnosed, and it made me think, wait, that's me, that's why I felt different. So that's where it started. That was years ago. Then I met my boyfriend. His mum used to work with and diagnose autistic children. She said within like a couple of hours of meeting me, she knew. She obviously didn't just tell me that. She told me after me saying and like prompting the conversation, I think I might be, and she was like, yeah, you definitely are. So that's the kind of distance my diagnosis has gone. I don't think it really, I don't know, like it affects me sometimes because I'm now more aware of like my brain working differently, because to me it was always normal, and there's obviously a lot more about it online. But would I ever get a formal diagnosis? I'm not sure. Have debated it, especially now I've got this part-time job. I think it would make people understand how I react to certain social situations, and like I take some things really personally and some things I don't. Like there's a lot of different things going on there, but it's an ever-growing learning process, and I don't really know what it looks like or what it means, but pretty sure I am. And there's no shame in self-diagnosis either. So yeah, I feel like if I go to the doctors and say I think I've got autism, they'd laugh me out the room. But I think that thought process is an autistic thought process in itself. I don't know. I've only ever lived in my own brain. I don't know what to do. If you have any advice for the person who asked this question and for me, please let me know. All right, that was pretty deep. Let's go to a more relaxed question. Okay, 2 more questions. Do you have constant worry of money being part-time self-employed? I'm in full-time job but want to drop some hours to focus on my small business, but I'm scared about the uncertainty. Yes. I think self-employment will always have that element of being scared of money, not of money, about money, because it is so up and down, and that's just the nature of it. It's something you'd probably have to get used to. But going back to what I said about having the part-time work, like employed work, make sure that whatever you're doing part-time still covers your bills, and then you treat the self-employed side of things as like a bonus. That's your holiday money, that's your treating yourself money, that's going out for tea money. As long as like the basics are covered with the job, then self-employment's a perk, and it takes a lot of the pressure off. And I didn't know that until recently, but it's changed my mindset and helped me mentally in terms of finance worries so much. All right, last question. Have you ever worked with a difficult client or brand? Yes, I have. Oh my god, I have so many stories. There's been times where, like, there's the obvious one, brands wanting content at a certain deadline, and then I deliver that, and then when it comes to paying me, they pay me 3 months late. Like, I hate that that's so common in the industry, but it really is. So that's just a general one. I've had a client before, and this was like a graphic design, like I designed something for them, back and forth on email, and I've had a client before that I've had to drop because they were just being so unreasonable with their changes. It just turned into something that I wasn't able to do. So I said, look, we're gonna have to part ways. They paid their deposit and we separated there. It literally sounded like a breakup. So yeah, there's definitely been 2 I can think of client situations like that. And then I feel like there's a big brand one that I've not mentioned that was pretty bad. I mean, there's always those brands that want like X, Y, Z, and they make it so robotic, and they want a script, and we try and tell them that that's not going to perform well because my audience knows what I'm like and like how I would deliver things. And they're just not having any of it, and then I back out and just say no to the money. There's a lot of occasions where I'll be offered like an insane brand deal for a great amount of money, and because the product doesn't fit, the service doesn't fit, or the brand is just not playing ball, I'll just say no. Like, I value the audience that I've built over the past 12 years over a bigger paycheck that month, you know, which I don't feel like a lot of influencers do, but I really pride myself in the fact that I do that. And because I have that part-time job now, I can do that with even more confidence because I know I've got X amount coming in every month. That's good. Was that a bit of a strange one to end on? Not sure. But I hope you've enjoyed this very chatty, very rambly catch-up video. Thank you so much for sticking with me on a busy week like this where it just needed to be a Q&A vibe. If you got to the end of the video, comment down below this emoji, and I know you got to the end. And in fact, as well as the emoji, let me know where you're from. I'd love to know where you're watching this video from. So I live in Doncaster in the UK. Comment down below that emoji and where you're from. I'd love to know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you loved it, and I'll see you next time for another one. Bye!